This Bible is one of the most valuable Bibles you can get. This is what is called a red letter Bible. Red letter Bible. Everything that Jesus spoke is in red. Easy for you to find. You know how much easy it makes for us now to talk to them? With this Bible. Red letter. Whatever Jesus said is in red. So let's say we accept that that is Injil. Let us say that every word that Jesus spoke that is in red is we accept. For the sake of argument, we accept. So let's have a look. What did Jesus say? You say the New Testament is the Injil. You said yes. So well, let's have a look. The New Testament has 27 books. 27 books. Out of the 27, in this particular one, 21 out of 27 has not got a red dot or a dash or a doodle. Not even a scribble. Not even a smudge. Not even a red smudge. 21 out of 27. How many percent is that? You work it out. Then in the New Living Bible, also red letter, 23 out of 27. There's not even a red dot or a dash or a doodle. And you say this is the Injil. You say this is the Injil. You didn't even quote Jesus. Leave out Jesus, God talking to him. But you didn't even quote Jesus in 23 out of the 24 books. He is not even quoted, not even once. And you say this is the Injil. However, in this so-called Injil, in this particular one, and there are many other Bibles, you find that Jesus is made to do funny things, silly things. I'm only reading from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 21, verse 7. I didn't have a chance to read it there. I read it for you. It says, they brought the donkey and the colt. Donkey and the colt. Laid their clothes on them, on the donkey and the colt, and set him on them. They made Jesus sit on them, 2 donkeys at a time. I said, what this man is, an acrobat or circus? What is he doing? Look. No, look, there's no misprint here. In the King James Version, you read, they set him, one man, on them, on the 2 donkeys. Can you imagine a Jesus riding 2 donkeys at a time? God revealed that. On them, is there. No, this is little wonder that today there are people in the world who think that Jesus was a myth. Coming to our subject, myth, a fairy tale. Things that they speak about him and things that happened in his time. That people came out of the graves. You remember I told you at the meeting there. In the Gospel of Matthew, that Jesus, when he was crucified, the graves opened up and the people came out of the graves and they walked the streets of Jerusalem, left, right, left. People, but they were wearing napkins or skeletons. What? When you come out of the graves, after having slept there for 50 years, 100 years, what do you come out with? And they walked the streets of Jerusalem. Full stop. Full stop. What happened to them? What did they do? Nothing. Who saw them? Nobody. Out of the 27 books of the New Testament, only Matthew saw. Can you imagine? 26 books, there's not one word of such a stupendous happening. People in London or Birmingham coming out of the graves and walking the streets. And nobody sees. Wallahi, it will be world news. No? Even in some village. In England, if this thing happened, it will be world news. The whole world will know by satellite. Everybody knows that, in certain little town or village in England, the people came out of the graves and walked the streets. And then what did they do? What did they do? They went back to sleep again? Can you imagine? You came out of the grave. Let's say it was you. You came out and you march with the group. And what do? Go back and sleep? Won't you like to go and see your wife and children? Huh? So the people say, look, the world says that Jesus was a myth. This is a fairy tale. There is no such thing as Jesus. We believe that he was a reality. He was a historical person. And we need no proof. Allah Bari Ta'ala testifies to this in his holy book, that there was a woman called Maryam, and she bore a son without any male intervention. As Allah says in the Holy Quran, our Qari read from Surah Al-Imran.
This is why he didn't marry.
Yeah, we'll answer all your questions, inshallah, at the end of it. Why he didn't marry? Poor man, they didn't give him a chance. They didn't give him a break. The Jews didn't give him a break. From Surah Al-Imran, verse 52, our Qari was reading, and he read, Inna mathala Isa inda Allahi kamasali Adama khalaqahu min turabin thumma qala lahu kun fayakun. The similitude of the example of Jesus in the sight of Allah is like that of Adam. Khalaqahu min turabin, Allah created him from dust, and he says, kun fayakun, and he was created. So in other words, like Adam was a man, he is a man. And this is the testification of the Bible. Also, 83 times in the so-called New Testament, in the so-called Injil, 83 times, you read the title, Son of Man, Son of Man, Son of Man. In Arabic, Ibn Adam, Ibn Adam, Ibn Adam, Son of Man, Son of Adam, 83 times he's described as the Son of Man. What is he? He's a man. He's not a myth. We believe that he was a real historical person. Or was he God? Our subject is man, myth, or God. Now, Thomas Carlyle, I think it must have been in this very London in 1840, a Britisher, I don't know whether it was English or Scotch, Thomas Carlyle, recognized as one of the greatest thinkers of the past century. Thomas Carlyle, in his lectures, he chose our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his hero prophet. And he begins his lecture to his Anglican audience by saying, in the history of the world, there will not again be any man ever so great whom his fellow men will take for a god. In other words, mankind has reached such a standard, such a level of intellectual understanding that they will not accept another human being as God. That's what he says, Thomas Carlyle. In other words, suppose I, Axmed Dii'daa, start flying in this room here like a bird. I can walk on the water. I can give life back to the dead. I can tell you what you got how much you got in your pocket, and I can give you every number of every notes that you have in your pocket. Will you accept me as your God? No, the mind says, no, man. So how does he do it? So look, I don't know. You say, I don't know. You know, he's got some magic powers. Maybe he's got some jinns under his control, and they go and tell him, oh, there's some other setup going on between this guy and whatever I'm telling you. But when you look at the man, he says, no, this is the man. I can see this man is about 70 years old. Before 70, he wasn't here. After, he won't be here for another 70. That's guaranteed. If I had a gun, I can shoot him. I can strangle him. No. All these thoughts go through your mind. He's a man, he's a man, he's a man. No man what he can do. What great performer of miracles the man he is, but he is no God. This is the intellectual level that mankind is supposed to have reached. He says, he assumes that this is what mankind is now. No more. Then he says, how did it happen? That people are accepting human beings as gods. He says, nay, we may rationally ask. Thomas Carlyle says, nay, we may rationally ask, did any set of human beings ever really think that the man they saw there beside them, a god, the maker of this world? Did they, any set of human beings at any time in the history of man, the people who abducted Sita, you know, Rama, the god of my ancestors, his wife Sita was abducted by Ravana, the king of Ceylon. Did he think when he abducted this woman that he was abducting the wife of his god? Did he? No. When the Pandavas went to fight Krishna, did they think they're fighting a god? No. When the Roman soldier punched Jesus in the stomach at the trial and says, come on, prophesy, who hit you? Come on, tell me, what's my name? Did he think that he was hitting his God, punching his God? No. When the other soldier supposed to have lanced him on the side with a spear, did he think he was lancing his God? The answer is no. The contemporaries, how did it happen? He says, no. The way is, we are now living 2,000 years after the event, and people, when they read these stories, it sounds like fairy tales. This is man, it could have happened. You know, he was floating about, here, there, everywhere. You know, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere.